name is Lawrence Ray, also known as LRW3, the host of the Talk to Me Nice podcast, and you're about to watch episode 13. I thoroughly enjoyed filming episode 13, and when you watch it, you'll see why. I called some of the greatest parents I know to come share their stories, and they did not let me down. From some of the wildest birthday stories you will ever hear, to just having great conversation with other parents, man. I just thank everybody for coming out and doing what they were supposed to do. And of course, as my co-host, you guys have been killing me lately about it. Yo, where Chris? We got Chris back for episode 13, which I know all of you all will enjoy. And without further ado, man, like I said, I just want to jump to this episode, man. This is episode 13. I am LRW3. This is the Talk to Me Nice podcast. Let's go. My name is Lawrence Ray, also known as LRW3, and you are officially listening to the Talk to Me Nice podcast.
All I know is shooting. You come to a bitch to feel important. Get your life together properly. I just bought a $200,000 house. Nigga battle me with property.
You can't buy happiness, but you can buy local. And that's kind of the same thing. Support what supports you. Here at the Talk to Me Nice podcast, we support all local entrepreneurs. Please contact a local business for any and all of your needs. And when you get there, remember to talk to them nice. I hope you're ready.
Gee, I think we got
we
one.
Weren't. Nah, I'm joking. Raising a kid is a walk in the park. Jurassic Park. On today's episode of the Talk to Me Nice podcast, I called some of the best parents I knew to come sit down and discuss their journeys in parenthood, their struggles, and most importantly, their triumphs. Behind every young child who believes in themselves is a parent who believes first. Funny, my kid is turning out just like me. Well played, Karma. Without further ado, my great parents, are you ready to talk to me nice?
I think we feel with everybody. It don't never fail. Every episode.
He be sneaky, bro. He'll deliver.
I heard him. He pressed the button, bro. Hey, funny guy.
I didn't even hear that.
Now, y'all, everybody here seen the podcast before, right? Now, every beginning of the episode, y'all clearly see, before I said we about to begin, that it clearly was filmed. And yet everybody still be confused, like, oh, we about to start now? You been getting filmed like the last 3 minutes. Oh, yeah. So, we about to begin in 3, 2, I knew it. I was waiting for you to do it every time. I knew it was going to be you two. So,
He really a natural. He's like, I don't
hey, Chris told me about Cole. Like, hey, Chris went on the last 2 episodes, had my invite, yo, what the hell Chris at? I'm like, man, Chris ain't got no kids. I'm going to get him, man. Don't worry, man. They were like, damn, what Chris, man? What's going on? All these other random ass co-hosts. Alright, so 3. Talk to Me Nice podcast. I am your host, Lawrence Ray, also known as LRW3. Before we get started, y'all may not care, but I'm wearing this jersey for a reason. My longtime team, Florida State. We lost our longtime head coach today, Bobby Ballon. So, y'all may not care, but of course, that broke my heart, man. So that's why this Florida State stuff is out in memory of Bobby Ballon. So, let's move on. Let's have everybody, y'all know how we start. Introduce yourselves, man.
But y'all know I'm Chris, you know what I'm saying? Social media, C_T_C, Instagram, Facebook, Terrell Crawford, my business page, Grady Quality Paint. Need paint, hit me up.
Alright.
Curtis, also known as CJ. Instagram is _Black Educator. Facebook, Curtis Haslem Jr. And my Twitter page is Unseen Intellect, and the I in intellect is actually a 1.
Okay.
I'm Laneisha, better known as Laneisha. Facebook is Laneisha King. Instagram is XO__Laneisha with 4 A's. And Twitter is A2Just.
Perfect.
All right, my name is Asia. My Facebook is Asia Jordan, and my Twitter is XO_Tamar. And this semester, if y'all need y'all research papers done or court classes done, I got you. I do it for the below.
As I tell everybody,
Please don't see that.
as I tell everybody, to make sure everybody hears y'all the right answer, just make sure y'all speaking up so we catch everything. So this episode is, of course, about parenthood. So everybody can understand your base of knowledge. Let them know how many kids you got and what's their age.
Well, my son is 2. He just turned 2 in April.
I have one child. He's 12 years old.
I have a set of twins. They're 2, be 3 in November.
Okay.
So,
Okay, I like that. So let's jump into these parenthood questions. Let us know your birthing story. Or, of course, CJ, as a male, let us know just how that day was as kind of the day your children were born. It works out everybody got what you got 20, so it works out that everybody only got like one story to really tell. Just let us know that day.
Why you want to look at me to go first?
I'll start that one off. Well, I was induced actually 2 months early because he was premature. I have sickle cell, so I'm high risk to have a baby, and I was 16 and pregnant. So that's why I was pretty much high risk. It started around 6:30 that night. They gave me a 95% chance of my son living if he was taken. So we did that, and they gave me the Pitocin pill, and he went into distress. So about 7:10, I was running to the operating room, epidural, general anesthesia, put to sleep. And about 6:45, I was running to the operating room. He was born at 17 p.m. at 2 pounds, 7 ounces. I didn't see him till the next day, but it wasn't a bad experience. It was just not remembering it because I was in anesthesia. I was geeked up. You know what I'm saying? I was in the flat. I had epidural plus anesthesia plus the oral pain meds. So after that, I didn't see him until that next Saturday. Well, the next day was Sunday. So I saw him that Sunday morning for about 10, 20 minutes. And of course, I built up preeclampsia, which is your blood pressure is extremely high and you can't do anything but give birth to your child. So they gave me the Pitocin pill, C-section. After that, his dad came in. We made sure I was good because I had to have 3 blood transfusions, 1 platelet transfusion, and then, but I was fine. My baby was fine. He was just born 2 months early. Other than that, everything else went fine. He has had no health issues whatsoever, ever. And he's 12 years old. I don't think he's ever had a strep throat. And that was when he was 9 years old.
Okay.
But he's definitely a miracle child. He's in 6th grade. He's 12 years old. So yeah.
the God definitely covered wrong.
Oh yeah.
For real.
Definitely. Because that was a lot. Especially at
2 months
16.
early,
That's a
2
lot.
months early, I was 16.
We glad both of you here because you was high risk, and we're glad he's here, of
We're
course.
thankful for that. And
CJ.
he's an amazing child.
We're gonna get you next.
Well, for me, of course, I wasn't having the baby, so the process of the day they were born, I was just chilling, honestly. But they were born early in the morning. Off the top of my head, I really don't know all the details as far as time goes and weight and everything. You know, she showed up. That's the mom thing. But I just remember that my dad actually had to come get me up from my apartment because I'm a heavy sleeper and I didn't know what was going on. At that time, me and my kid's mom were not together, so we didn't stay together, so I had to get up out of my bed, you know, go to the hospital, all that type of stuff. I went in with my slides, but once I got there, everything was good. We had to turn one of my twins around. I don't remember exactly who it was that we had to turn. The doctor actually turned around. I didn't know they can actually physically turn them around, like in the stomach.
Happened in the movie.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Like, he came in the room and he was like, yeah, this baby is upside down. So I think it was him, my son. So I think it was breech, but he was like, yeah, we got to turn him. And I was like, we got to turn him. And he literally put his hand on my stomach and
It looks so unreal.
And I was just like,
you can do it
and
multiple
he was
ways.
like, yeah, now we good. I was like,
That's why they get paid
okay, interesting. Hey, I swear, I was like, okay, we all good. So, you know,
That's so crazy.
I think her water broke. So they took it to the operating room. They gave me all the stuff that I needed. And I went back there. She had a C-section, but it was like she had made an appointment for hers because she had a previous C-section before. I wasn't on that end. I was up by her head. I guess they done changed that and everything, so I wasn't down to that end. I just seen them once they were out. And, they let me cut them, the cord after they came up and all that type of stuff. But overall, it was great. I still was sitting there like, dang, 2 kids. What am I gonna do?
From 0 to 2 real quick.
Yeah.
So have you became less of a heavy sleeper, like whenever your kids are around? Because I feel like it's like a natural thing to become a light sleeper when you become a parent.
Like I really don't sleep good whenever I have them.
Till they get older, because now I'm not that.
I literally
Be in the room playing the game.
be tired all day long, honestly, just because they're there. But as soon as they leave, sleep
Good
like I
sleep.
usually sleep.
Snoring, slobbering.
I probably still snore, but like I'm very, very light because I just think I used to it. I be terrified. This is just the parent instinct because when I have them, I sleep differently and I really don't get no rest when I have them.
And it's crazy, like that instinct turns on and off, like instantly. Crazy.
Get back to your little twig. Sleep.
Like I don't got no kids by race, like both my nieces, right? So I used to do the same thing, but it was just me like trying to be alert for like a loud noise. First loud noise, I know that.
Hey, you gotta do the daddy rule. First loud noise. Hey, now what's going on?
My worst fear with them, I was like, I didn't want them like going out the door. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I go out the door, like so.
Honestly, it don't even have to be a loud noise for me. Like it does not have to be a loud noise. It just any type of sound.
Like a creep, like I'm hearing like some type of little faint noise.
Real alert.
Hey, that's the one. The loud noise is clear, but the small noise be the one.
That's all you really make.
Exactly.
Like, what's going on?
When they try to sneak in the room.
You might go check and see if something fell.
Yeah.
Did y'all hit the door or something? But when you hear small sounds, that's when you really gotta get up and be like, hey man.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what
so quiet.
Let me come check this out.
I swear my son an assassin. That's the ones you gotta listen for. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, small, you barely hear it.
Yeah.
Damn, what he doing? What you doing?
You gotta be quiet.
Yeah.
What you here doing, buddy?
All right, last but not least, let us know your birthday story.
Okay, y'all. So mine is a little wild. So basically, I did not know I was pregnant the whole 9 months.
What? Hold on.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know until I was 6 months, so don't feel bad.
That's still 3 months.
Girl, you still had 3 extra months to figure that out. Like,
Cause she had a
But
baby
yeah,
next week.
it wasn't, so it was like,
Oh,
She
yeah.
didn't have the whole pregnancy pills.
Okay.
She had her baby 2 months
It was
early.
fine the whole time. I'm talking about, I'm taking my regular pain meds, so I was on hydrocodone, Percocet. Like, baby came out fine, no withdrawals, no nothing. Y'all think, that's why I hate the meds now. So if I ever get sick now, I'm like, just push through it. Just push through it.
girl, I'm all the
Because I ain't been in the hospital.
holistic
I've been in the hospital in
Man,
8 years. So
real.
it's like,
I ain't going for none of that.
I don't like, after that experience, no, y'all can keep. I don't want it.
So you was 9 months pregnant.
Yeah.
You never noticed any signs.
Okay, I can tell a story.
Please.
Okay, so pretty much like literally gave birth like yeah.
Like,
so-
congrats, you're pregnant and it's on the delivery.
Right. Basically, like I gave birth on a Saturday night. I would honestly say on the Thursday prior to, I started having these back pains, and like I was at work and I was like, damn, like, what's going on with me? So, I went home and I was like, this shit's getting kind of bad. So, I went to the med stop and they were like, oh, you just have like a simple little ailment. We'll give you some medicine. You'll be straight. So I'm taking the medicine and I'm like, still not working. I even went to work the following days. I literally went to work, I think that Saturday. Ended up going home early. So I was like, dang, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go eat something. So I had ate like a cheeseburger and cranberry juice. All of a sudden, I feel like this pressure dropped down to my ass.
Yeah, they're coming back.
So like I'm thinking maybe I gotta, So yeah, so I wanted to go to the toilet, I was trying to do my thing, and I'm like, ain't nothing coming out, like what's wrong? And at this point, and I'm like, and I'm really here in like excruciating pain. I feel like my whole body is like shaking, pulsating, and at this point I'm going into shock. I have no idea what's going on. So, still trying to push. And then I feel, the bottom of my butt, that area, and I'm like, I feel a baby. Like, so I literally called the ambulance. Down 911, and I'm like, my intestines are falling out. Something's wrong with me. Like, I'm going crazy. I'm like, y'all come get me. And she's like, and this lady is like bewildered. Like, I'm like, what? Huh? What? I was like, fucking fine. Like, and she's not even listening to me. But like, by this point, I had already gave her my address and everything. Like, you know, I'm telling her everything clearly, and she still can't hear me. So I hung up thinking they're gonna come. But I was like, he's literally gonna come. I was let me push. So I literally gave like 5 big pushes, y'all. And I'm squatting. And it made it easier because gravity is like pulling down. So I squatted down, y'all, and he just fell out.
Hold on, because he was on the toilet at the beginning. Did you get all the
Yes. I went from the toilet. Then I went to my room. I'm sorry, I should have told you about that transition. But yeah, I went from the toilet to my room.
So in the middle of the floor.
So in about a 30-minute time span, you went from your stomach just hurting to you a mother.
Yes, basically. So like by this point, I already had on like some clothes. I went ahead and put on some shoes, y'all. He's really still attached to me.
You just walk around the house like,
Hey, dragging me. And you walk around.
And then he had a very faint cry. So I was like, I can't wait for an ambulance. But see, I live on the north side of town, so as soon as I leave out of my neighborhood, because I live out West Side Elementary, I can get a house of health care 2 minutes. So I'm literally pushing. I drove myself. He's in my left hand. I'm sitting with my right hand.
Because you didn't have a car seat, clearly. I mean,
Oh, baby.
Hey, I ain't got no clothes for you.
I did have a jacket on him, though. I wrapped him up in a jacket. I still have that jacket. It was a black Columbia jacket. I'll never.
So I got a question. So,
Okay.
like, you never noticed any symptoms at all? You didn't have any symptoms?
And it's crazy because, like, I was 21 at the time, so I was getting my routine paps. I was going to my primary care physician. They would do blood work, everything. They said I was cool.
Now, hold on, because I know a doctor.
That's on the way. That's on the way.
Oh, okay.
So do you gotta? I hate to put your doctor on the spot. Do you have a bad doctor, or would you lie to your doctor? Because don't they ask?
Hold on,
Could you potentially be pregnant?
Nah, sometimes
Yeah, and they do. But see, she told me, because I did tell her, like, I have PCOS and I have irregular periods. And she would tell me, just lose some weight.
Damn, so basically your doctor said you ain't pregnant, you fat.
Yeah, basically. That's really what she said.
She didn't even just try to humor you and be like, yo, just for fun, just take this pregnancy test real quick, just to make sure.
Because, like, I was told that they're supposed to do all of that, like the blood work, they're supposed to do like the blood pregnancy test.
Because when they show up in your blood work,
that's what I'm saying.
Most people that I've dealt with, that I've known, you know, they be like, when I go here, they make me take pregnancy. I be telling them I'm on birth control, and they don't care.
Yeah, I just thought they take it serious.
No, I was told that honestly, they make you take a urine test, and then they'll make you take a pregnancy test. Well, not really make you take one, but they go ahead and test it. To see, like they test the HCG protein in your urine.
Yeah, because that's how I heard, like, most females be like, yo, I didn't know I was pregnant. I did just drew my blood and then told me I was pregnant. So I'm like, how you go 9 months go on to the doctor, they drawing your blood and nobody say, hey.
See, like, it's one thing if I was just a person that never went to the doctor, but I went to the doctor. Like, I would always get my annual, always get my, my check with my primary care physician. So it was crazy, but the lady that was actually my gyno, she was like a nurse practitioner, and there's no disrespect to them, but I guess she was one that like nobody even went to like that. And I really I should have read the review.
Yeah. Clearly, there's some merit behind that, obviously.
We ain't gonna put it out there.
Yeah, don't say a name. Let's keep my business, but.
Yeah, I will say this though, like from that experience, I definitely have like PTSD. Like, I think I need to have therapy before I even think about having kids again.
Now let me ask you this, because this is a show who's really the most important person in your life. After that happened, in that thing, who was the first person you had to call after that?
Well, honestly, y'all, my phone hella dead.
Whoa. Of course it did. That just finished.
I know, right?
How else do you end the story?
But see, I was living with my dad at the time, so he came home and just saw the blood, and he automatically went to the hospital. And then he ended up calling my Aunt Tammy, and that's literally like my favorite aunt, like out of all of them.
So he wasn't there when you seen the blood? Like you wasn't there?
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't there.
I don't know. I'm talking about when he came home. You was already gone.
Yeah, I was already gone.
I would have thought somebody got murdered.
Well, I see blood.
I had killed myself because like my mom died 2 months before that.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was just a lot. It was a lot.
I know he go through therapy too.
Oh yeah, he's definitely that now. Yeah.
See, me, I don't like a lot of blood. I probably got
Hey, I didn't even have that question planned. She said, I got a story for you. I said, say no more. Let me write this in real quick.
Yeah, it's definitely a story.
My story isn't like yours. When I had my kids with my son, my baby mama, we sat there all day. She ended up having to have a C-section. And it's funny because when we did the C-section, like, that's when they, of course they had me go in there too or whatever. And it's funny because, like, I know usually don't get put to sleep with C-section, but she was scared. So they were like, yo, we just gonna put you to sleep and get the baby out. So they told me to go in there after they put her to sleep. So she already asleep when I walk in. And like the lady who I guess I forgot what they call whatever they is, people who put you to sleep, I forgot their name. Anesthesiologist. Yeah. So that lady, like, instead of paying attention to like if I'm making sure I'm giving her the correct to keep her asleep, she started talking to me because they had a little like thing up so you can't see. But she was like, go ahead, look over. Now I'm cool right here because I was just sitting at the top. She was like, nah, go ahead, look. I'm like, nah. So she had a whole conversation with me. As she's talking, my baby mama started to wake up. But she like wake up in like a weird voice. Like you could tell like she still wasn't like, she don't even remember this, but like she woke up and her voice was deep as hell. She was like, yeah. Like it's okay. Hey my man, go ahead. I swear to God, it was like a horrible. She started waking up. She was like, yo, what you doing?
No, she is a fighter.
So she was like, yo, what you doing? Yo, get off me. And then she started moving her hand, and then the doctor, you could tell, I don't know if this was the first time this lady did that, because the doctor who was doing it, he looked over, and he gave her like, what the fuck? I keep bringing her in here with this shit. Like, he looked mad, so then she was like, yo, get off of me. And she started moving, like trying to slap stuff down, so they all ran over there trying to hold her arms down, and they were trying to put her back to sleep. And she was like, get off. And she just kept yelling in the deepest voice. And the whole time, he was just looking at that lady like, you know you fired, right? You know you're not coming back. That was the funniest thing. They put her back to sleep. We had the baby. That was pretty much it. With my son, with my daughter, I ain't gonna lie. I started an argument on purpose because I ain't gonna sit at the hospital. I'll admit that now. So she got mad at me.
Here we go.
Cause y'all know, like, it take forever. Like, cause the first time, like, cause my baby mom ended up with a C-section with my son, but they tried to let her have it natural for like a day and a half before. So when it was time to go with baby girl, I don't want to sit up there. So, like, it was a small argument. She had said something like, you know what? You ain't even gotta come with me. Oh, I ain't. Say no. I'm putting on my shoes. You ain't gotta go with me. Shit. Say no more. Hey, don't worry about it, dude. So I'm an asshole, I admit it. So she go up there, like she try to prove her point whole time. I ain't wanna go no way. So it's like she been up there like 8 hours. My sister was, so she not alone. So my sister there, you need to come up here. My lying ass, no, remember she said she didn't want me up there. So I don't want to stress her out. Like, so then it was like, I finally went up there because my baby gonna call me, like, get your ass up here. Damn, man, all right. So we finally get up there. That one ain't nothing really out of the ordinary happened. Just a regular baby girl came out, and then like, shit, yeah, that was kind of uneventful after that. But I like that story. I'm glad at least that she knew she was pregnant. You know, back to you, because that's kind of a crazy one. Did you ever get a baby shower or no?
I actually had a mommy and me shower. I really had like an out with everything. It was very cute. Because I had a boy, so I had to do it up like that.
That was dope. So
yeah,
that was dope.
I just want to let you know that part that you said when you cut out. Just
that.
Don't do that.
Now, you may have already answered this next question clearly with your story, but anybody else, maybe it might be different for you, but I think that clearly sums up this next question. What is your, oh damn, I'm a parent moment?
When I was at the hospital, when I was in the crisis, and that man said, ma'am, she pregnant? Huh? Say what? Because I done had a period the whole time. I didn't think nothing of that. He was like, I was in some crisis at the time, which caused a lot of pain. Whole body was in pain, so I'm at the hospital, not really sure what's going on. He come around and say, ma'am, she pregnant. My mama said,
What?
huh? I started
What?
I was just like crying. I'm like, how am I pregnant? I just had a period. I ain't been doing nothing.
You was doing something.
Hey, that is the first thing. I was like, I ain't been doing something.
You be doing something, clearly. You be doing something.
listen, I ain't doing
And my
nothing. I
parents
was
should
waiting
ask
there.
me.
He was doing everything.
Y'all have to say, so y'all y'all having sex? I'm study saying no. I'm study saying no. My homegirl was also 16 and pregnant, so she was like, I pray you're not pregnant like that girly.
I had a patch.
All the time pregnant.
Mom, I'm actually farther along than she is. Sorry.
It was worse. It was like, we could go see what the gender is. She there for long?
God damn.
Oh, she there for long. So, called my baby daddy. We was together then, because we was like, wait, in 11th grade. He was like, I know you were pregnant. So why the fuck you didn't tell me I was pregnant in that case?
That's a weird thing, guys.
Listen, I've been shot up
Guys
to
know though. I know that some guys see.
God always know.
I mean, I know some guys actually experience symptoms of it. I was lucky that I didn't. But then some guys just know that.
Was being asleep all the time.
Huh?
It was just sleep all the time. He literally was asleep all the time. So his grandma kind of had a feeling, but she ain't say nothing either. So this man whole time, yeah, I knew you were pregnant. So why the fuck you didn't tell me to think about a pregnancy test or some shit?
I think gotta be knowing too.
Some
Them damn
guys be
shop
having
club.
mindset.
They be knowing it. Don't be
Yeah.
saying nothing. Don't saying a damn thing.
Hey, man.
It just be how
Wow. Okay. So y'all.
And it's even crazy. We had been sexually active for 2 years. I ain't never got caught up doing that. We never used protection because he has latex allergy. So we never had any thoughts like that. So how you know I'm pregnant?
But that be everybody.
I'm gonna take
First
the
thing you did,
ovulation period.
boy, that be everybody think, man, we doing it forever. What happened?
Literally 2 years straight, nothing. Then what makes up bad was I had just stopped fucking with dude because we had got into it about something. We had just broke
You
up
should
really.
really bring it in.
Hello.
That's how you do it. You know what I
You know what's crazy? Like
mean? Never fall for that. Hey, Joe one more time. That's what that Joe one more time for.
and it's crazy. I was actually 40 weeks when Gio was born. 40 with the full.
So you had a whole to term pregnancy.
Yeah, like he was like 8 pounds, but they said he was like up in my ribs. Like I would have never knew for real. It's crazy.
Oh.
But so of course I go on Google and I went back and I was like, so what was 40 weeks prior to this day? And whenever I looked at the date, me and his dad had just stopped talking. Maybe like 2 weeks after, like.
Had y'all had communicated? Now I gotta ask this: had y'all communicated recently? Because I mean, if y'all stopped talking 9 months ago, like.
Oh no, we actually had saw each other maybe like a month prior to that, like me giving birth. Like, cause my mom had, she had died or whatever, so like, I would, see him, communicate, whatever. It was cool.
So how that phone conversation went? Like, hey, I'm pregnant and your baby here.
Well, he said he knew he had shot the club up, but he didn't think I would get pregnant. Cause like I told him that I had PCOS, so he was like, oh yeah, that means
All up in.
Yeah.
Lay in it.
Like, can I not get a heads up? Like,
Boy, that's a phone call. That's a crazy phone call. Hey, I'm pregnant. You get that I'm pregnant phone call. Damn.
And
So what do you do?
He actually had a kid like literally exactly a year like before that. So he loved having some Aries babies, I guess. So.
Think about that. Yo, I'm pregnant. Damn, what do you do? About 20 minutes ago.
He said she'd be crazy. I was like, what?
That's all you can say. Like,
This is
Damn.
crazy.
that shit crazy, yo. Oh, alright, so let's get into let's move on to the next question. Is there a right way to parent?
Nah.
It's
There's
just
no right way to
a
parent.
learning thing.
Everybody parenting is different. As your kids get older, you're actually gonna parent different as they get older anyways. Like how you treat them right now is not gonna be how you treat them in 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So your parent is gonna constantly develop. You're gonna constantly learn new things. You might see something that someone else is doing that you be like, I need to try that. So I don't think it's one right way to actually do it.
Okay. Anybody else want to chime in on that?
There's a learning experience to me because me and my child literally grew up together from 16 to 29 and 0 to 12. Yeah, so some things that I wouldn't do when he was younger, like I don't whoop my child because I don't feel the need to do all that. We ain't gotta do all that. If I can talk to you with normal sense, we can discuss your discipline things, whatever. As long as you're listening and taking what I'm telling you to heed, we can do that. But whooping you can make you either aggressive or abusive when you get older. So I'll just take it a day by day. We learn together, grow together.
Okay. What about you?
My son is 2, so obviously, yeah, it's still a learning process. I definitely don't whoop him. I will change how, you know, I parent him as I get older. Because me, I came from a traditional family, you know. So pretty much I had the affectionate mom, you know, very lovey-dovey. I had the dad that worked 100 hours a week. And, you know, and we honestly didn't become close until adulthood. You know, like he was always a dad. Like he was never there for anything. Unless it was like a sporting event, you know. And I feel like it definitely molded our bad communication, like terrible communication. And I wish things could have been different. So that's why I know for a fact whenever my son gets older, I'm not gonna be all up in his business, like doing too much. But yeah, I definitely want to like, you know, have a great communication with him.
Okay, all right. So both of y'all kind of mentioned it. Y'all kind of got to my next question. So we'll go ahead and move into it. Whooping your kids. Y'all two just said y'all don't whoop y'all kids.
Well,
Do you whoop your kid?
Nah, I mean they're 2 right now,
they're 2,
so I mean they don't really know no better. But
Just adventurous, you know.
I really
The
don't.
kids are everything.
I don't necessarily agree with, you know, not whooping them, because I grew up and I did get whooped, and I'm not aggressive and I'm not abusive, so I can't say that that's gonna make the child.
I think with whooping, there's a certain balance that, like, cause I'm in the front. I whoop, like I tell my son about 5-6 times before I will whoop him. So I do believe in whoopings, but I don't believe it's whooping as the first. Like, don't go there first.
Yeah.
Now,
Could you whoop your daughter?
can I whoop my daughter? I don't pop my daughter. Yeah.
My dad never whooped me because he's probably
Yeah, she
I
know
would hate
why.
him forever.
I don't know if I can just get a belt and like whoop my daughter, but I pop her. But I think with that, I think whooping is fine as long as one, it's not your go-to, and I don't think you should always. That should never just be your. Every time I'm gonna whoop you. But like with my kids, like I whoop my son and then he'd be fine right after because he understand. Like as long as the kid can go back and be like, you know what, I probably deserve that. Cause like that's the real thing. Like, you know, I'm not out here just angry, just trying to whoop you. It's like, come on, man, I told you.
I love you. I really
Pretty much that
don't
excessiveness turns into abuse.
Yeah, like,
I have whooped him before because it's like I'm not gonna keep telling you the same thing over and over again.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Like you know what's going on. I asked you for 2 things: good grades, good behavior. It was in virtual school last year, and the grades was sucky as hell. We don't do that because whatever you get, whatever you want, it's out of my pocket because I'm telling you good grades, good behavior. I'm telling you to get your grades up constantly, and you still giving me these bad grades. So at this point, you know you're doing it wrong, but you're not trying to change that behavior. Tell you it's up this time, took that one time. Grades,
That's all it takes is serious.
That's the thing
If they
too.
be
Like
right,
with kids, I noticed with kids, the threat of a whooping is actually worse than a whooping. Like even when I was growing up, like you know, you be bad at school.
Yeah.
Mama say, Mama teach her to put him on the phone. When you get home, I'm gonna whoop your ass. And it was one of those, like I go home, you don't fake sleep, like you the whole time you worry about the whooping. My mama get home, don't even whoop me. But mentally in my mind all day, damn, I'm getting whooped, man. I ain't do that again.
And that moment right before the whooping, like as soon as they draw their hand back, I go,
I'm sorry. Hey, be honest, which one of y'all made y'all parents chase y'all?
Me?
I was running.
I'm going up on the bed.
We gotta run for this.
Mama, you better put your track shoes on. Hey, you gonna earn this. We going around the block with it. You gonna
Bro, it got so real one time I had pushed my mom, like, got them trying to
Oh, God, you was asking for it. Wait, so who's the worst thing that y'all got beat with, though?
Nah, mine's always been built. So.
Yeah, I ain't been built. Thankfully,
The belt buckle.
I heard some.
I get some shoes thrown at me.
What?
Like, real quick.
I'm glad nobody said nothing crazy. My mom took the transmission out the car.
I remember I got this one from my dad. That was the only one he never make it.
They probably heard it.
Yeah, it probably hurt him.
When I told my dad, I said, Dad, I hate you for that. And when I said that fucked him up, he never touched me.
They don't want to hear the baby girl say. They don't want to hear the baby girl
My older
say.
brother
I'm the only child, too.
Like every time he whoop, he just like he feel all bad and stuff. Like I was like, bro.
I think my mom scared my daughter. Like she get emotional off me talking to her.
Oh, how does it make you feel? You be like,
You can't go for it though.
oh, you be on fame. Oh.
Like I'll be laying on something like stop. Hey, stop. Hey, come here. And I get this close to her face, and I talk to her. She be sad about it, and I be like,
So now you never stop doing that.
"You sad about it? Go on to your room."
Now when you get to that tone, that when she know you for real.
Yeah, like
See, I was reason
it's
my
just
son. I was
it ain't
reason
even that
first.
she's just defiant about it. It's just the fact that she don't really know no better. I can say stop for 2 seconds they'll stop, and then the third second they back at it. Like, I ain't even say nothing. Like,
See what I would do first is give me a phone, give me a game, give me an iPad. You can't get that through your head, then I'm finna be jazzing. Like I told you.
I was about to ask y'all, if y'all don't, what do y'all do? Like she said, she takes the stuff. Anybody else do something other than? I mean, y'all kids, y'all got kids, babies, y'all.
Well, when I babysit my nieces, though, I tell you they electronic. Cause they don't go outside. Like, these kids.
It's outside every day.
Bring out water hole.
Wait, but we live by a road, so he about going in front of the house. So he be in the backyard or whatever, playing basketball. He love basketball. But if anything is the game, iPad, and the phone first.
All it takes is the game for boys, I feel like.
I took all of it. I'm gonna take all of it, because if I don't take the phone, you got the game.
Boy, you get online, I do everything I want.
So you get all 3 of them. Until you get your mind together and your act together, we're gonna take these devices, think what you done did, maybe you'll get your act together.
I remember my mom used to take my phone when she be at work, because my mom hit the same. My mom used to be the worst hider of stuff. She used to hide when she took everything in the same spot every time. So as soon as she went to work, I'm right back in there, grab my phone. Then you see the lights, you know, I had a room in the front. You see the lights come on in the house on full speed, trying to get it back to the same spot, man.
I really think I'd have been at the house with you, and you'd be like, hey, bro, hold on real quick.
You just see, hey,
I'm gonna go to my room real quick, come back with a phone.
Boy, you know what's right, man.
See, I never got my phone taken because one time I went with my cousins to T-Mobile and I had got me a Go phone. I had to be, I don't know how old I was, but you really could get me a phone card.
You had a plug phone.
I really had a little phone card, you know, I put minutes on there. Never knew. I wouldn't even play with them like that.
Mama thought she got me. I got something for her.
Yeah, I had some for her ass, for real.
That's that burner.
She got the burner on. Mom, give me your phone. Mom, they be confused. Why did you give me the phone that easy? And I call you back in 5 minutes. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it.
What's that?
I'm on trip.
Boy, I'm on change.
Yeah, bro. I'm on trip, bro.
Boy, I be right, man. Don't even worry about it. Alright, so again, like with your story, you kind of low-key answered most of the questions, but we still want to hear from you. So, next question. Did you mean to have a baby?
Hell
Was your
no.
baby planned?
Hell no.
Mine was, my baby was planned. The other one was not.
They got. Why would you get one free?
So y'all literally sat down and said, okay, I want to have a kid. Okay,
Like, we had a conversation about it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we legit had plans to be together.
No. Now, when you had a conversation, was it like I done had like every dude kind of like we consider us saying we want to have a baby when like I mean I ain't trying to get you pregnant, but like if you get pregnant, I don't really care.
No.
Or like yours was like y'all
we legit planned to have a baby. Like,
I'm about to do this tonight.
Not necessarily day wise.
Oh.
But like planning out life, like, hey man, we're gonna be together, you know, we can be a family, this and that. Like we legit plan to have a baby. Now that old damn woman that you mentioned earlier, when I was sitting in the doctor's office and they was like, you know it's 2 in here? I really started to tell her like one of them got to stay. I don't know which one.
Maybe which one you like more? Let's just figure it out now.
I don't know which one you, but you know that was it though. But mine actually was planned. One baby was planned.
We kind of planned it, but not for 16. We had planned it for like when we was planning to be together first of all, like first love, all this and all that. We had legit planned.
Y'all know my first love, boy. You just swear it's over. I don't even know what else, baby. See, turn
now.
Girl, as long as you there walking always.
Almost too late. We got engaged and everything, but I was just like, no, cannot do this anymore. And the reason was because I was upset one day about something he had did, and my child was 3 years old. And my child knew who made me. He was like, Mommy, why you upset? Why you crying? It's because of my daddy. When he said that, that's gotta go. Because he's watching that. He's my son, 3 years old.
That's not good.
How does my 3-year-old know what you're doing? Know that you're the one hurting me. You gotta go. Because you fucking with my piece and my child's piece now, so no.
They said the kid knows. Kid know.
They can feel it. They can feel the baby.
She was young and pregnant, so it's a little different. I feel like if I was younger, high school, shit, when I was in college, I was like, can't happen. Like, this cannot happen.
Right.
But after I graduated, you know, moving forward with life and actually trying to be mellowed out, like off the scenes type thing, it was just, like I said, we was together, we playing things out and how we're gonna go.
Okay. All right. So this next question might be the most
put you on the spot question I have. Feel free to answer or not answer this question. Again, this is not a religious debate. This is nothing like that.
Here we go.
I think it's pretty clear where we're going. Abortion. This is not a religious debate, anything like that. I don't know if it doesn't have to be a personal answer for you as far as if you thought about it or not, but for, you know, what are some of the reasons maybe parents do think about it, or like, what are the reasons maybe people choose that route?
Possibly being raped.
Yeah.
I feel like, honestly, I mean, it's a woman's choice.
Yeah.
Whether she does it or not. Like, a man can't force a woman to do it. Like, of course, I ain't never thought of abortion because I can't get pregnant. But if somebody gets pregnant and they're like, I'm going for abortion, like, I know some people that's not for it, so they won't give no money towards it. But they're not going to try to be like, no, you better not kill my baby. It's more of a, okay, well, if you're going to get an abortion, you're going to have to pay for it. You figure it out. It's whatever.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for me, it's like, it's really up to the woman, and I'm okay with either way. Like, I was always the person that if something happened, I was willing to take responsibility of what I did. So I'm not going to sit there and tell a woman, nah, you need to get an abortion if, shit, it's my fault you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Like, I can speak for myself. I've always been, I'm big on, I never tell a woman what to do with her body. So I'm big on, if you want to have a baby, guess we having a baby. If you don't want to have a baby, either way, you know, it'll never come out my mouth to get that, but if you reach that point and that's what you want to do, I will be honest, I have previously helped somebody get an abortion because that's what they decided they wanted to do. I definitely did not tell you to, definitely did not hit to go that route. It was just one of those, at the end of the day, whatever you decide, either we buying diapers or we doing something else. I support it 100%. So just want to see what y'all thoughts as far as that goes. And
what's the term called? Like pro-choice?
Yeah, pro-choice.
Yeah, like I'm pretty much pro-choice. Cause I'm not even gonna lie, when I first had my son, I was like, this was my baby. Like, I really gotta do this for the rest of my life. And I was definitely like traumatized. So, you know, I'm not even gonna lie, like the first thing I thought about was, can I get them up for adoption? But like as soon as like they started calling my family, I mean, not even 30 minutes later, y'all, my family is in Target buying everything. Like as soon as we went home, I had 3 mobile bassinets, I had a crib, I already had 2 car seats. Cause like at that point, I was driving like my mom's car, cause I was like, you know, the mom car. Then I had my Honda, so you know, I kind of like switched out. But I was sick. Like I can honestly say, I didn't buy a thing as far as like clothes, diapers, wipes, none of that for like a year. Cause like my family supported me that much, so at that point I was like, you know what, maybe I can do this. You know,
Support system makes a big difference.
Like I definitely do have a great village, but I'm definitely pro-choice because if I can see any kid that's not like well off, you know, their parents are poverty stricken, like it came from unplanned pregnancies, you know? So that's why, you know, if that can be prevented from a kid, like, you know, growing up like a broken home or whatever, like, I'm for it, man, because nobody deserves to go through that if it can be prevented.
I like that answer. So, moving along, when should a child meet your new partner?
For me, it's a toss-up because you want to get in good with your new partner and make sure that y'all in it for longevity. But let's say like her son is 12. If she get in good with somebody for a year or so and she feel like they're gonna move along, but then her son come along and don't like him, you just wasted a year of your life. Like I can't be with you if my child don't like you. So it's a toss-up between like when should you meet him, because
it's crazy.
That's that time.
Definitely not in the first month.
Now, I noticed talking to women, a lot of women, they don't like, it's a weird, because I, like, again, this is a question we talked about before on the podcast. A lot of women, it's a turn off if you ask, like one girl said, some dude hit her up and was like, yo, I'm ready to, you know, I want to be there for you and your daughter. She was like, my daughter, we didn't have no conversation yet. So a lot of women don't like, if you come too soon, ask me about the kid. But then if you never mention the kid, now they offended. Like, damn, you didn't even say nothing about my kid.
Well, I can say in my previous experience, I've only had 2 partners after my child was dad, because that's just me. And the first one knew about my child from social media, Instagram, me being in school with him. So when he invited me to come to his parents' house or whatever, my son was that day, so I was like, my son's here with me. I don't want to bring him around right now if, that ain't been discussed with him. He was like, it's cool, my parents know about me and you. I know you have a son, they expect that. But that was like, what, 6 months in?
Yeah.
And my current partner, that was what, 7 years ago? And my current partner, he knew about my son as well, respected that, knew he had my social media showed my kid all the time, so he knew about that. We waited about 6 months too, but that's only because I got sick and he wanted to come take care of me. And of course my son looked at me, so he was like, is it cool if I come, bring you some stuff for being sick, whatever? Cool, no problem. My son was actually in bed that night when he came to visit, and my son still wanted to come around. He was like, Mom, can I come say hey? Sure. No big deal, because you're just saying hey. He said hey, and that was it. And over time, like over a year of time, they gradually started to communicate when he would come around or whatever, got each other's trust, and so they're fine now. We've been together like what? This year will make 6 years. So
that's good.
So when y'all get married, it's been 6 years.
Big M-bomb,
Hey, when this come out, just play this one part and then just look at him.
If it's up to me, it'll be like 2
Let's watch this podcast together.
Well, let's watch this one part. When y'all get married, just look at him.
It's supposed to be.
I couldn't answer that question. That's why I scratched my eyebrow.
I'm trying to do my own. I'm trying to get some of my own goals done.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be
That's
the next 2
understandable.
years. So, yeah.
Okay. Alright.
I would personally say for me, I would say 6 months to a year. I can honestly say it's been like one person that's like met my son, and he honestly only met him really because like I've known him since like my childhood, and we started talking whatever. Like he really asked to pull up on me, and I was like, my kid is here. He's like, I don't care. Like he already has kids of his own, so like they were just outside playing and being all cute, and that really should make you really like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I swear.
I know females love you when you in daddy mode. They love you.
Yes, I swear. And then it's like because but you are right. How when women really don't like when guys come in the inbox be like, yeah, I want to be, because they'll be like, oh my god, your son's probably gonna be a big football player. Mm-hmm. Right? I come from a family of athletes. My last name is Jordan, so you already know. So like they'll be like, oh my god, yeah, I want to be his future football coach. Like I don't like that.
Y'all seen that quick brag right then?
Nice Jordan.
Couple of them in the league. You know what we do.
Hey, I got a question for the guys. So if a girl like tell you to come over while her kids said, will you say that's a red flag?
Nah, it depends.
Yeah.
I mean,
like she wants you to just meet them like within like first couple of weeks. Probably like next day you meet them.
I done been like, cause like I done dealt with a lot of single moms, so sometimes you just ain't got a babysitter. But like she wanna see you, so it's like, yo, just come over and like, yo, my kid here, or like they'll wait till the kid go to sleep, or sometimes the kid will wait, and then like I notice like with females who aren't like trying to force anything, like as far as that kid relationship, they'll like have you come over, but they won't be like, hey, this mommy boo.
Yeah,
be like, this my friend. And of course y'all ain't doing that wild in front of the kids, so it's not no awkward thing. You probably just be sitting on the couch like we kicking it now, and it don't be nothing crazy. So it's not like the kid be like, yo, what you doing with my mom? They don't really think about it. So
at the time, my kid was like about to turn 8 years old, so he didn't really think nothing of that. So he came around, they sat on the shit, watched YouTube together, he showed me some videos. They were just kicking on shit, and that was it. And he went to go to bed. And over time, they have been able, like, he'll ask to call him over his dad sometimes, which I ain't got a problem with that. I just have to make sure it's cool with him to make sure he can call, because I don't want no problems with him, because he and his dad did. Because they're both military, and his dad is in Kentucky, so it's like, yeah. But it's no problem with nobody.
See, I just asked that because I always try to like respect the baby father.
That goes to my next question before we get started. Should you introduce your partner to the other parent?
I feel like you should, but when it's time, like you and your child's dad or shotgun, just let's do whatever y'all have y'all little things set up. Because when my child's dad, we had it like when we broke up, we made sure that our partners and our kids weren't, nothing that was going on because they were so young at the time. He was 3 years old. So when he actually finally did move the fuck on, 10 years later, he he kind of tried to hide her from me. I'm just like, bro, it's longer than you are married. She pregnant. What you trying to hide?
So he in a marriage?
I
seen the reception photos.
They ain't do all that. They ain't even do all
Oh,
that.
they like, how old is it?
I ain't know nothing.
I see y'all.
And they was in the military? Oh, okay.
He was still living. He was still in college.
Oh, okay.
People were telling me that they were married.
I mean, he in the military. You know he got married. Like,
But
going
this
outside.
is before he went to the military. We was still in school then. We was still in undergrad. So I'm like, but see, she was pregnant. He was graduating. So we was trying to get that fast money to get her on. So I'm like, bro, I see your wedding ring. People in the street talking. Just admit to the shit. I don't want you. It's okay.
So he lied about being married?
Yeah. And I'm like, dude.
So how did you eventually catch him? Or
He finally told
he
me.
just finally admitted
Like,
it?
bro, you could have been saying that. I'm like, shawty pregnant. She finna have this baby. And like,
Did he lie about the baby too or just the wedding?
Just a weird.
Okay. He lied about what he could hide. But he was like, yeah, I can't hide that.
Yeah.
I ain't anything. She pregnant. What you talking about?
And we be lied because she was still in my DMs. Like, bro, you literally was just trying to talk to me. You worked things out 2 months ago. What?
Oh, that's why he was lying.
Now you married. But you can't hide no way to be. First of all, you cannot hide shit from me anyway. I'm gonna
Yes, baby.
I don't even do all that. Everybody know me, so they gonna know. They know my child, they know me. They gonna talk.
Yeah.
People will see you in the streets with this girl. Laneisha, you
Cameras.
don't need to, babe, I don't care what the fuck Dominique do, okay? Dominique gotta take care of his own shit. But can y'all tell Dominique get my damn DMs, please? And take care of his wife and his kids.
We are hearing it out tonight,
Right.
but
Dominique, if you want to tell your side, tap in. We got you.
we never need him to tap in for sure.
Hey, Dominique gonna see you. Hey, bro, let me holler at you. Make sure I come back with
Like, you ain't gotta hide nothing from me. We were done. It's different when we was still together, but we were done. Like, we were literally done.
Well, that means you might have been done, but he wasn't done. So he was like, damn, let me hold out hope. Because if I show this, it might be over.
Still ain't done.
He still ain't done. Yeah, we
Still ain't
can tell the story now.
He still ain't done. Why you told people I was chasing you?
I'm just
But
like,
you was still-
tell me about it.
You still chasing, Lord. What you mean?
You can't tell me about your wife. Like, I don't have any problem at all. If she's from my child, then you need to let me know that so I can go ahead and meet her professionally. It's no big deal. So I finally did get to meet her. Matter of fact, I went and did a whole shopping spree for the baby. I don't have the kind of hate in my heart for you. We got a child. Let's see. We ended 2 years ago. We're gonna be with that baby. You moved on, pick it up, keep that shit moving. He just kind of continue to hide it. I'm just like, bro, you can just at this point let it go. Your job. People are my friends. They told me that you married at someone when you got engaged there, all of it. Not that I cared, but it's out there now. So just stop trying to hide. You have one for your wedding ring. You gonna say this is just?
So he took his wedding band every time he seen you? He took it off?
He had on.
Threw it in his pocket.
So being that you can, well, you know that he still has feelings for you. Like, if you were to introduce him to like your group, or did you already do that? Like, what was his reaction?
He hasn't seen him yet because they both.
Oh, you didn't say
They both military. Neither one of them are in Georgia, so.
Are they aware of each other? Because like y'all been
Yeah.
together 6 years. I would say okay, man.
Yeah, he knows that there's somebody like.
Does he know that there's somebody? Or does he know that his name? Like, but he don't even know his name.
He knows.
I don't think he knows his name.
his chest probably started.
I don't think he knows his name.
He knows about him, but he don't know anything like
About
about him. Like that ain't none of your business.
Okay, he just knows somebody there. It ain't his business who there.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, because nigga, you ain't in here. So what?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't even go here.
All right. So everybody
We all
said.
cordial though, so it's
Yeah.
like we all cordial.
So everybody kind of said, you know, depending on circumstances, that they'll introduce them. So this goes to co-parenting. Do you co-parent well? Have you all worked out, I guess, a schedule or something that works out for everybody? By everybody's faces, I think it's a resound no.
Well, I'm going to get into that part too.
Dominique, again, hit me up, man. Hit me up. Let's hear your side of it.
So
man.
we co-parented very, very well. Very, very, very well. No issues, no problems. Matter of fact, in 2018, I signed over my custodial rights to my child's dad to move my son with him because we both vowed that when he turns 9, he'll do the rest of the raising. From I did 1 to 9, he's gonna do 9 to 18.
It's like the boys in the hood.
Sit up. Hey, you tell I'm killing this episode. We got a baby we didn't know about until showtime. We got this sounds. We need some tissue before we start. This sounds like one of those.
Over to a slave movement what he said, because like I can only do so much as a mom for a son, because he's gonna have to have that daddy figure, of course. Well,
Oh shit.
he moved in October of 18, and in December of 18, he's there on deployment, which meant the child should have came back to me. Because I was the only biological parent in the States then. They didn't want to discuss it to me until in like middle of 2019. So they started having their little marital issues or whatever. That had nothing to do with me. I didn't have no cause to that whatsoever. None. So we discussed moving my son back to me in June of 2019. And we did that. Things were good. His daddy said it's going to be his decision if he wants to move back with his dad or stay with me. Of course, my child chose to stay with me, because that's all he's pretty much known his whole life.
Right.
Mama, because I've always had my baby. Well, Dad agreed. He was like going to do an allotment for him or whatever, so he can do all this, all that. Well, deployment, he comes back in September of 19. He wants to make the child move back with him.
That's a lot of moving to be doing.
Exactly. I'm still in the military. You have to go here and there, but I'm not. I'm stable in one spot. You're not going to keep uprooting my child from here to there, from there to here, when he can be on one spot the entire time. After you give him the choice to make, you want the choice to decide, you want to be here. Well, he mentioned in July of 2019, before he came back, working it out. We ain't working shit out. We're going to work your marriage out. What you going to do? And so, he got back from deployment in September. He wanted to change the whole thing up. But I remind you, the wife that moved the child back, the wife that came to me and told me all the issues going on, everything that had going on. Of course, it didn't do with me, but okay, whatever. Move my son back with me, no problem. So he was like, he can move back to the end of the school year. The school year is in May, right? Not the semester, the school year. School year ends in May, right? Okay. He wanted to talk shit. He wanted to threaten my freedom. He was like, you don't want to be in prison, it's your life. Let him move back. That right there is final to me.
What?
And that means fight with my lawyer and my money. And I did just that. So when it comes to my child, I'm not going to play the games with you or your wife, because I've been nice as hell this entire time. You could have been paying bukus of money in child support, but I didn't care about it. None of it. That ain't got nothing to do with me. My child is always good. Employed or unemployed. So we had to go to court, do this and do that, all that. Of course, they got in court, lied on the stand, whatever. The judge knew what the fuck was going on. And my child was 11 then, so he let my child come in and tell his part of the story. Now, my lawyer will tell you, I didn't have no parts in my son's story, because I had to stay outside of the room when they did a recorded statement. So therefore, it was nothing, I couldn't put my son to say anything at all. If you know my child, anybody that knows me and my child knows my child is always being his mama's child. Every person that knows me that I talk to that I'm cool with will tell you, when it comes to my child, I'm 10 toes down no matter what. He wanted to do all that shit talking or whatever, got to court and lost his case. Final hearing came around. I wouldn't still be like that. We could have studied this without doing all that.
Yeah.
You traumatized my child.
Because
you
when you
tried
understand, it shouldn't even have to go that far. It don't have
Exactly. You
to.
literally brought my child. Well, my child was home with me for Christmas. Well, the whole entire time. He wasn't moving back after that. She thought he was, but he hadn't been served yet because he was in Kentucky, but the case was going to have to be in Georgia because we reside in Georgia. So he wasn't served yet. So we tried to pick my son up that day. He got served that day at my house, in my yard. You can't take this child out of the state of Alcast County. But he's going to try anyways. So my child called me crying and screaming like I've never seen my child cry like that. Because he wanted to come home. He wanted to bring him back home. You got him fucked up. Him fucked up. Both now we met there. My child finna come home. He ain't come home with you. My child finna come home. He ain't going home with you. My child finna come home. So I already had to call the police, told them what was going on, because we had already had the cops around earlier because he tried to take my child without permission after being served. we're not gonna do this. You're gonna bring my son home. I got all kinds of threats. Well, your lawyer lied to you, but it's in third. Can't do that. Yeah, I can. My lawyer has told you what's going on, what you have to do. Get your own lawyer, or you can let it be. He told me, he's like, okay, it's on then. You have to fight me in the military. Okay, both y'all next.
As a member of the military don't give a damn none of that.
Come in.
Only thing the military is gonna tell you, are you paying for this child? That's all they care about.
So now you gotta pay child support. Mind you, he got 3 other kids. So you gotta take care of 4 altogether.
You don't got sperm cells.
So you could have been paying $350 in child support a month if you would just let my child be. But now you gotta pay double that because you wouldn't be an asshole and try to force my child back when I asked you to not do it in the first place. You made my child emotionally traumatized. I have never seen my child cry like that because he went gone. Just let him go home. Like,
That's what I'm trying to understand. Like, for your kid to be upset as he was, like, why fight about it? Like, why fight you about it?
exactly.
Like, what's like a pride
The
thing?
thing is, we ain't never had any co-parents issues until then.
How long ago was this? Like
This
these
was
2019?
this is 2019. This
Have y'all got better since then? Or is
Oh
it
yeah, he don't come his way ass behind. I ain't not his way.
It's not little ass. Hey, she still feel away. She already beat his ass once.
I'm very, very cordial when it comes to my child. I ain't doing all that arguing shit. This is my child. He don't need to see all that. We ain't gotta do all that. I've been nice as hell. I ain't want child support, none of that. None of that. Whatever you don't do, I got it. I'm not gonna ask you about it, let it be. But don't fuck with my child's emotions or feelings. Let him do what he wanna do because he's fine here. So at the end, when it came down to the final court hearing, I wouldn't just settle it out. Whatever he wanna have, he can have it. But you could've niggas in the first place. But you want to go to court, you want to do mediation. I done spent 4 bands on the damn lawyer and everything because of your bullshit.
Once he realized that it wasn't gonna work out in his favor at all, that's when he wanted to like work stuff out.
Yeah, like you could have just. I was not upset at all. What you're not gonna do is get on the stand and try to explain I'm a bad person. Oh, you didn't call him, you didn't do this, and you a motherfucking liar.
To be fair, as somebody who's dealt with that, not to go in depth, I learned because I had attorneys too. But like, I had to check my attorney when that was going on. Cause like an attorney, I mean that's their job. So it's not like their job is to make sure you win. Like, cause like I had not to go too in depth my own. Like my baby moms called me and they did paperwork back and forth. You said what about me? I didn't say that. So then like the attorney be like, well, we gotta say certain things, make sense. I like I'd rather lose with the truth than win with that lie. You not so the stuff you might have heard. I say that because I don't know if he said it.
It was written in the statement that she said.
And that goes too though, like, cause a lot of things my attorney said, I said that never came out my mouth. Now she may have said it, I don't know, but they do add some things because they do gotta make it look like
spicy.
Yeah, they gotta add a little something on there to make it seem like, hey y'all, she don't need to have this kid. We need to have this kid. So it might have been her, but as somebody who went through it, it maybe might wasn't.
He tried to use my sickness against me. Oh, she's too sick. She's too sick.
Yeah.
My nigga, I ain't been in the hospital 8 years. What you mean too sick? Even when I am sick, my child still good. You know that shit. Don't play with me.
Yeah, that's wrong. Yeah, that's low blow.
And he was really trying to ignite all. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean all that. I was just mad. Bitch, quit your ass.
See, they say it really does get brutal when it comes to like a custody battle because like you said,
And it wasn't that bad, but
things.
just my child being traumatized because you tried to make him go where he want to go. We could have wanted that.
It's one of those with a custody battle, like it gets nasty, but at the end of the day, like y'all, that's good, like y'all work past it. At the end of the day, yeah, it's nasty, but everybody got the same goal most of the time. Like, if somebody didn't care about the kid, y'all wouldn't be in court fighting over the kid. So it's one of those,
thing
like.
is, this man got understanding lied. Like, blatantly lied, got caught in his lie. I'm going to tell you how it went. The first question he asked was, when you got from the deployment, why didn't you get your son back? No, he lied and said, I kept my child from you. Okay. The second question was, you returned from deployment, didn't you pick her son up from her house? Yeah. So how did she keep your child from you? Crickets.
At least be consistent with a lot of hell.
We ain't gonna do all that. We ain't gonna do all that. So now it's all settled. Ain't no more court, whatever.
That's a lot right there though.
My son was really kind of hurt because he legit broke every single picture they took together. There are no memories they got left together because he broke them because he was that upset, he was that hurt. They still talk now, but he's trying to build it back up. The daddy is. I'm not gonna force my child to do anything. I'm going to encourage you to talk to your daddy. You know, your dad is still there for you. You just had this little shit going on with him. But these your decision what you want with your dad now. You want to talk to him, you can. You want to be here. Because when he comes to Georgia, they come, hey daddy, come get me. They cool, whatever. It's just, and then it's still crazy because I'll be trying to be the right parent and tell him when things going on. Like, hey, he was having a rough time in school. Hey, his teacher, he's in middle school now, his teacher, this person. So I sent him the picture card of who his teacher was. And instead of him just saying, that's a cool teacher or whatever, you know what this man said to me? He's going to middle school where I met you at, fell in love with you at.
He's still going back. Still shooting.
We talking about the song. We ain't talking about me.
This man is living in the past.
I kid you not, I sent the picture of the card of his teacher. He was like, my boy at middle school now. The same person we met and fell in love with.
Please don't burn it.
Followed up by miss you.
This was how many years ago?
That is like the most toxic message
Like,
ever.
it is so toxic. Like, bro, we can be cordial, but none of that going on. I want you and your wife to work it out. Y'all get it together, cause that's the only one that I've been able to deal with your bullshit, cause I ain't gonna do that.
Oh Lord.
Amen.
Next
So
question.
we co-parent pretty well, I would say.
Okay.
After all of the bullshit, because before all the bullshit was still good.
So let me ask y'all this: did you pick the right co-parent? Looking back,
Clearly, I didn't have a choice.
you had a choice. You did what you did. Looking back, did you pick
right,
the
you
right person?
right.
I think I did. If I could go back and change it, I would. But for the time being, he tries. And I
That's
still-
better.
I
That's better
see-
than most people, man.
And I see where it comes from because when he grew up, his grandmother took care of him, not his dad or mom. So I see where he got a little childhood trauma from. But damn, break that curse, do better. Be there for your kid.
I'm not gonna lie, like I thought things were gonna go really well because he's very family oriented. But apparently when it comes to his other kids, I didn't even know that he had. He does not even see them. And that's crazy to me.
Hold on, you didn't know you was pregnant. You didn't know he had other kids.
It's a very ghetto situation. Very ghetto. Like he would actually post them on Snapchat here and there, but he would say that they were his siblings.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fucked up.
That is crazy.
Hey, whoever you is. Hey, next episode, who on his side? Next episode, both their baby daddies sitting in the same spot. Hey, I just want to clear up a couple of things. I did not say those were my siblings. I said they was my cousins. I just said that was my family. You know? Hey, specify what type of family. I said, like, if there was a family reunion, they was gonna be there. I ain't gonna say what type I had. Oh, that's
Yeah, shit be wild.
I mean,
That shit is crazy.
that's his siblings, you know.
Crazy.
Like, she said you on the spot. Did you pick the right
for
parent?
me, you don't never know if you pick the right parent. Like my kid's mom was a great mom.
That's all that matters.
That's great.
And so I wouldn't go back and just re-choose nothing because you really don't know people's parenting skills before they're a parent anyways.
Yeah.
And even though they might treat one kid this way, you seen that, everything don't go the same for each kid. So, like I said, my kid's mom was great. I ain't got no problem with her mother.
Which I will say my child dad does try. If he was here physically, he would be doing a lot more. I can't say that. Because when he was here physically, he every day got the kid all day. What you gotta do today? You busy? Got your plans today? I'm gonna get some free time. Cool. No problem. We
That's
straight.
what's up. That's what's up. Now, would you want your child to grow up and act like yourself or the other parent?
Me.
Oh, duh, me.
Me.
Everybody, I knew y'all was gonna pick yourself. What traits would you want them to have from the other parent?
I got 2 kids.
So would you want your kids to act like you?
It depends. Certain traits for me, yeah.
Like what traits?
What traits for me? Organized, structured, responsible, like kind.
What traits from the other parent? Because it's easy. I'm not gonna ask nobody else. Of course, y'all are all amazing. We know that. What about the other parent? Give them some love.
For the other parent, I mean, her nurturing side of things.
I feel like I know I don't got no
Be
kids.
heavy.
Hey, speak up, Christian. Yeah, go ahead, do your thing.
Yeah, I was about to say I know I don't got no kids, but I was looking at it like just like watching them how they grow up and stuff. I feel like they adapt like more with the raw, like that one characteristics of you. Like my brother, like his youngest daughter, like she's real bossy. Like that's my brother. But the oldest one, she had more like her mom. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like every kid have like a raw trait for
That
them.
dominant.
Yeah,
That
you know
stands
what I'm
out
saying?
more.
I feel like my kid's gonna be very observant like me, and the trait is, I would say ambitious, because this man knows how to get some money. So, yeah,
That's
that's just
great.
saying. Yeah, I'm cool with that now. I'm cool with that.
From his dad, he's hardworking, like, and he's like, we're both smart as fuck, but he's a little bit smarter in certain areas. So
I
like,
heard
yeah.
her say that.
Like, he's smarter than me in certain, like, math and science, he's gonna take that out of the water.
Yeah.
Language, rights, and history, it's all me all day. But he's more like, I would say his dad is more hardworking because I'll be real chill at work. But his daddy gonna go out in for the military and army, like, bro, call me all right. I'm gonna be chill. So I want him to have the hard working and stuff, but he got my smart ass mouth. I had to remember. We talked like, God, yeah, you my child. Definitely.
Well, hey, hold on. What you just said? What you said?
Yeah.
You think it wrong
We
with
might be the same height, but I'm
still.
still the big dog. We might be the same height, but I'm still the big dog.
Now, I noticed somebody said somebody's ambitious and they mentioned about getting money. Next question. Child support. Oh, when is it needed?
I didn't want child support at all. I didn't want to go through all that. I really didn't. My mama and my lawyer would tell you I did not want to go through all of that because he got other kids. So I was thinking, I got kids. You make sure if I call you for something, just send me that or whatever. I ain't want to do all that because we both went to college. We both got degrees. He's in the military. I have 2 degrees. He has a good job. I have a good job. I didn't want to do all that because he had other kids and he's the only one working in the household. So it's his income and that's it. I don't want to do all that because, like I said, if I got it, my child got it. If I need it, just make sure you can supply it. I didn't want to do all that, but I had to because of the court issue, because the custody, I had to do all that. I didn't want to do all that, but I had to. I could go back to change that. I would change it so let's not doing that part. But at the end of the day, everybody says your child needs what he needs too. Yeah, I get that, but if I'm supplying that, what's the problem? He's still the dad. You gotta do something. Okay, yeah, whatever. But he has other kids to take care of too. It's just his income as well. I didn't want to do all that. I had to.
See, I took that into consideration also because I mean, once I had Gio, my son's name is Gio, Brian called him Gio. But I mean, I took into consideration like he had other children. I found that out afterwards, and then he was actually going through like some legal trouble too, and he was straight up like he was just trying to get back right. So, you know, that's why I didn't put him on child support. Like I literally got my own side hustle, doing people's homework, papers, like doing all that type of stuff. And making big money, so that's why I really didn't want to have to do that. So, you know, I'd be considering it just to prove a point.
Tell me the word that you be doing for homework.
Oh, I should be saying that. I should. Get it,
Hey, she just like who homework she doing. So.
Yeah.
Homework in general.
Yeah. Okay. They
But
gonna
before
have
we,
fun.
before we changed the roles, he was paying child support because he had legitimized. So it was just like a little small fee. I could have had that increase in 2017, and I was like, no, not worried about all that. I call you some, just send it to me, let me. Other than that, we good. But when I had to go to court and all this, the judge gave it an amount because of our incomes. And it was a little up there with 4 kids and it being your only income. So I did bring it down some, but not a lot because I couldn't. My lawyer was like, no, we ain't going for it. So I had to bring it
I
down.
speak from my lawyer, like with child support. Like I said, your lawyer was kind of, my lawyer more did what I told him to do. So when I said I didn't want child support, we didn't bring it up again. So like, it's not your lawyer kind of a little bit more firm. But I said, no, I don't want it. And that was
Because
it.
he was just
For
like,
me-
when I said I didn't want, he was just like, it ain't he was just like, well, it's more so not that you want it, but it's what your son deserves to have, because at the end of the day, both of y'all his parents, so you need more income for one child that both of y'all raised. So I was just like, whatever.
That's true too.
And the judge actually pushed that more than my lawyer did. So if he wouldn't have to go to court, I could have canceled all that shit out. But he wanted to make it bad. We had to go to mediation. We didn't settle anything in mediation because he wanted to be an asshole, thinking that he gonna get me in court. Well, gotcha. What is in court? So I did break it down from what it was to like half of, maybe like about a third of what the judge said about that for me. Because it was like 6 something, about that place for something. Because I didn't want all of it at all. Because like I said, he has other kids to take care of. Like, I got my son, and I have hella help. Like, my mama, my daddy, his folks, my folks gonna always be there anyways. But I have a really good job. I get what I do. So it's like, I got my kid. You gotta take care of this kid, 3 other kids. So we ain't gotta do all that, but I had to take it there.
Now, I see a lot of guys on child support, and I want to see y'all opinion on this, that they believe that it should be tracked down to like the cent or something like that, as far as like, oh, I want to know where all my money went. Do y'all agree?
Like receipts and stuff?
Yeah, like I seen that before. Do y'all agree with that or what?
Well, I ain't on child support, so I mean, I don't know. I've been talked to about it, and I've came to a point that I kind of shrug it off. It is what it is. If I do get on, if I don't get on, but if I were on child support, I don't feel like the money should just go to the mom. I think like different money should just pay different bills, like around the house. So it's kind of tracking it down to know exactly what your money going towards. Because I know some women that just get over.
I think that's the
argument.
I know females will be going to get their hair shit done. I tell everybody, no, this is for my child. I got a job. I can get my own hair done. I'm not going to use my child money for my own good. Now, bill, yeah, maybe every now and then, because his phone bill, his haircuts, his braces, the wool clothes, all that, his money. I would never take my child's money and put it on myself unless I'm just downright wrong.
So girl, have you all done up?
I'm not on child support, but my baby mama both have credit cards underneath me that they can use when they want. And I mean, sometimes, they might use it for something random, which I don't mind. My thing is mainly for the most part, like even if I was on child support, I don't really mind what you spending the money on until I start noticing my kid ain't got certain things they need.
Yeah.
Like if my kid got everything and you might have did your own thing, all right, cool, kid ain't missing nothing. But like if I know I'm on child support and I sent you $350, kid hair ain't never done, he ain't got no clothes, he ain't got nothing. Now I would want to know where exactly that money is going.
His haircut, my clothes will be clothes. I'm out here traveling, you traveling too. We're gonna do it like that. Because it's my child, he gonna always come first. I took 3 trips this year, shockingly, because of COVID-19. He took 2. Like I said, as long as my hair done, his haircut. He got on J's. I got on J's. He got on some too. Because I'll be damn.
I was just gonna ask.
He got nothing on.
How do y'all feel about, like you wearing name brand shoes and your kid not? Because some people feel like because kids are kind of rough on shoes, they don't want to spend too much, invest too much money into them. Then their feet grow kind of fast. But I personally feel like I want my kids to have on nice stuff too.
Well, see, my son, we wore the same shoe. We was in the same shoe size, so we could share shoes. But now,
What size you wear?
he's 6 and a half kids.
Yeah, I wish I had that.
He just went to a 7, so he back from 7 and a half and me. So you ain't gonna
These are 9, man.
Rolling, what?
He literally went from a size 12 to a 16 in 2 months.
See, my son is only 2 and he wears 9. See,
And the thing is, my son is small as shit, but it's not small as that, but he's just tall as shit too. So he's long as hell, so I can't get anything. I can't get anything like 14 comes too short.
Yeah.
So I had to go to a 16, which his clothes fit perfectly fine, but it's what he want to wear. If you want these shoes, you want these Air Max, you want these J's, I can afford it, you got it.
Yeah, that's how it goes when I was little.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna be out there like, oh, you gotta have this pair of Jordans because I gotta. No, it's noticing what you want because you gotta wear it.
it really be a fashion show for some parents just to show off.
And I always tell my child.
I think with like name brand, I kind of treat my kids like I do my, like I buy a shirt from Walmart, like I don't really care too much about
I
name
look
brand.
at the from Walmart.
But my son you gotta kind of like, my son recently, like I bought him a lot of J's this year because he finally said, yo, I want to move on. I want to stop looking so much like a little kid. I want to get to that zone. So like, A kid knows, so it don't gotta be name brand. Like a kid just know like when he wanna move on to something else. So
Like, I'm tired of the lineup shoes, man.
yeah, no more dinosaurs on my shirts, man. Please and thank you. So I think that goes to like it don't necessarily have to be name brand, but like when the kid ready to dress a little bit more, like if they don't care, then save your money. They don't care as long as they still look good in the clothes
and they like it.
I asked him what you want to wear for school. Crocs, Vans. Yep. Okay. There you go. If you want a pair of joints, Air Max, let me know. Whatever you want, I'm gonna get it.
Nah, Crocs got this generation a chokehold.
What? My niece love them Crocs, man.
They have
That's all
to
they wear.
rebrand, like,
That's all
right.
they wear.
That's all. Like Crocs and Vans, slides. That's why you see him squares and dress codes. So you gotta be careful what you wear.
Yeah.
So it's only up to him. We want to wear like. Wear your hair out, get your hair cut. Now that's what we be having a problem with his hair. Bro, can you can grow your hair if you just comb your hair. Comb your hair.
Comb your hair.
You just put some, because he has naturally curly hair like me, but damn, bro, just
Get some extra ways. Okay.
Go.
Alright,
Come on.
let's move this along. We got a few more questions left, and then let's have a little fun. So, when thinking, you may not even get a chance to answer this because I mean, when you finally this question, clearly you ain't have a lot of time to play with this. But when you were thinking of names, what was the worst name you thought of? You thought about naming your child?
Javante. I don't know why it came in my like. I don't know.
I know Javante.
I had him full to pick the child name. Like that was all on him. I let him do all that. Because we initially had already picked our child's name, but we didn't expect to have a child right after we picked the name. So literally, we picked the name like 10th grade just for future purposes for one of my pregnancy and that shit.
Sooner than you thought.
And I gave him full authority, like, we're not gonna name him no junior now, we ain't gonna name him no. He didn't have a junior, he didn't want a junior.
Oh, okay.
Me, I know my future baby mom, my kid's gonna be Christian, Crystal.
See, you have an old school family. I'm already knowing. Like, you gotta keep that going. You gotta have CR, C3, whatever.
He used his name.
Christian, Crystal, and he's doing the girl name. Hey, Christine, Christina.
Because he with our son, he really just took his middle name, put it as his first name, but a twist on it. And I took his first name and put a twist on it and make it his middle name. So, so his name is Key Island Dominique. So, yeah.
I went on Google, you know, it took me about 5 minutes to figure that out.
Yeah, you was in a rush, huh?
But see, my
names.
Yeah.
And she walking around the house with him a text. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out what to call you. Oh, no. Right to the house. Be quiet. Look like you look like a.
And it's crazy.
You look like a Christian. I don't know.
See, I gave him a G name because my mom's name started with G. Her name is Gloria. So, you know, I said Giovanni. Like, you know, I saw it on Google. I was like, that's really cute. That's cute.
Those people usually do like get stuff from their parents or something. I'm named after all like my uncle.
I let my baby mama name the kids. I ain't really care. I remember though my daddy was telling us he tried to name my sister Laurencia.
I would never forget that Beyonce.
And I like that name.
That actually is kind of cute though.
Yeah, Laurencia. It's like ugly. It's so ugly. It's kind of cute. You like it's unique.
It's
It's just different.
own.
That sounds
like,
you see somebody named Laurencia. Hey, you're the only Laurencia in this world. You know that? You're the only one. There's nobody else named Laurencia. I promise. Laurencia.
They're gonna call you Grinch.
What were the
Nobody has
25
my child's name. I don't think.
So what were the 25 ones?
I mean, we really didn't have no almost names for them. I can't think of anything that was like off the wall, but it was just.
People love to do the
For
magic
me,
thing.
it was just seeds. But the thing about it is, like, I'm a junior, my son's the third. So if we had a boy, we had already agreed he was just gonna be named after me. And then, I mean, we sat back and thought of girl names, and then, you know, no, it's still in here. Oh, we just gonna use both of these. You know, we ain't got to decide which name we're gonna choose. But
We're good here. Let's keep it moving. Alright, so when is it okay to leave kids home alone? You know, back in the day, you like,
hey, no open for nobody.
Nobody. I'm outside.
I got a key. Like, that's
See,
all
my
it is.
mom was.
I don't know.
See, my mom was a teacher, and then my dad worked long hours than my brothers had. practice at Northside, so they was there pretty much
By
forever.
state law is 13.
Well, I was 9.
So that's what
Five,
they say.
5.
Real.
And then Vincent said, don't open up the door for nobody.
But
And I was chilling.
it'll only be for like about 15 minutes because he was on the middle school bus.
Yeah.
And I got there before him.
So that's what it is. My
It's
child
just
like
based on time.
He's
Yeah.
How
12.
long were you leaving by?
I run to the store. The store literally like right there. So he be home for like 2 minutes, if that. But he has an iPhone and iPad. So wherever he at, I know where he is.
See, it's better now because kids got
Yeah, kids
phones.
are tech
Back in the
savvy
day,
at this
we was at the
point.
crib, nothing. Well, you house phone. You can
Oh, house phone.
You can go call me outside.
Me and my brother used to get the hen all that shit. Don't have fun, man.
Well, that house phone was real, boy. Hey, it's gonna be where you trying to talk to a girl on the phone, you don't get on the phone? Red. My mom got a strong Latin accent. Red. Get off the phone. Damn.
Oh, that's how scared. I'm not gonna lie.
Damn, mama. I'm
Shit,
gonna her.
I didn't even know. I've been on the phone. I don't went in my mom room and she trying to sneak something. Damn, that was
Hey, you hear breathing on the phone.
See, that's why I had to get that damn burner, because I couldn't even play like that no more.
Hey, conversation got spicy. Hey, yo, I'm gonna call you in a second. Let me switch phones.
I ain't hear that conversation on the house phone, man.
Nah, man.
But I feel like when it comes to that time, it depends on how long you're talking about leaving them at home.
Yeah.
Like, as
Man,
far as
back in the day,
age
bro, we
goes,
left all day, man. We
Yeah, I know
left
why.
all day, man.
Yeah, Ray, bro, you really talk how to make that pop ham.
What?
With the 2 toasted bread with a ham and cheese.
Oh, yeah, but that shit was
I
hard.
never had that shit.
Hey, we been the struggle. That was a struggle meal. That shit was lit.
I already know in middle school, shit, I done stayed at your house before.
Well, I know everybody in the house. My mom would say, ain't nobody in the house right now, right? Nah. Mom pull up, whole neighborhood going out there.
Peek around out.
People right now, shit, y'all come on.
As soon as she walked in, I heard it.
He come out that bit with basketball like that ain't happening.
Hey,
Go right out the road and come back. Hey, come back. I'm like, what up, man?
Hey, my mom that's how they in the house. No, mom, they see you pass by. Everybody came down here. Like hell, man.
I remember I lived outside of Laneisha. You know, Chris and Lance lived to the right.
Yeah.
I lived to the left going down Wisconsin.
Hey, they used to be good too. Hey, they used to help me with the lot. Cause they'll run to their house to turn around and walk back like they just weren't there. Like CJ used to live on the other side, so he'll run up the street and then you'll see him just walk back around the corner like he wasn't just there. And Chris will run around because Chris will cross the street. Chris run around, sometimes he go across and then he just come right back over, man. Like we used to sell that lot too just in case mama was watching.
Y'all had that shit playing out.
Well, hey, we was, every day, boy, we didn't care. Now, when will you have the talk? Were you giving the talk with your kid? Well, when you was a kid. Yeah, birds and the bees.
I got
I was giving that talk because
Honestly, I was thinking, because see, I am the only girl and I was the last born, so I felt like my parents was just not even thinking. So I didn't even get the talk. If anything, my cousins gave me the talk because I had cousins that were like a decade plus older than me. So like, yeah.
Too late.
That's how it was.
I had a talk when, you know, my dad picked up my wallet and I had a condom in my wallet. He was like, CJ.
See, that was the forced talk.
I was like, what? He felt it. He felt it.
Before he saw it.
Yeah, like he pulled out my wallet, but you know, like this.
You can see it like back in the day. You can see
it in your wallet.
a little circle.
So he felt it. I looked at him like, okay.
You had a brown wallet then.
And nah, it was a black wallet.
Yeah.
And he felt it. And he was like, what? This is like nothing. Just here, I walked the house.
Oh, so he didn't even give you the talk. He just said, oh, alright, well, so at least he knew you was here.
At least he knew I was safe though.
Yeah.
My mama one time, it was like 9th grade, I remember this clear as day. So y'all remember back when everybody was writing the little notes with everything? I was nasty, boy. I was like that good game. I was like, you really talk that good game. Like, oh, I did this. I'm talking about writing, and then I was getting the letters back too. But I wasn't throwing nothing away. You ain't supposed to throw them away. I had a shoebox in there.
I still got mine.
I had a shoebox.
I still got mine.
Full of every letter. I'm talking the nastiest thing you ever think of. So my mom was in my room one day, and she wasn't being nosy. I give her credit. She had like, cause like I wasn't using like half my closet space. She just put stuff in there. So she, I guess, was reaching up and she knocked the shoebox down, and it was letters in there. So as she was picking the letters up, I don't know which one she read, but they was all nasty as hell. So all I heard was, Ray, I ain't raising no babies, and I she. But my mama had a strong Latin accent. She started cussing in Spanish and shit like.
That one we know it's time to go.
Boy, she got it. Hey, she got it to the accent. That was everybody was.
Hey, I done been there before. Ray be like, hey, bro, I'm gonna go ahead and talk to you. Just chill, bro. You good? You good? I ain't been like that. She done already said I can spend the night, and I'm in the room. Ray get cussed out. He be like, hey, bro, just chill, bro. I'm gonna close the door. You good? I'm like, bro, I'm pretty good. I'm good. I ain't got to spend the night, bro. Oh, bro, you good?
I spent the weekend.
My mama didn't play that, but she get the cussing you out in Spanish. I don't know half what you saying, but I know that. Mom, I'm sorry. So, when y'all had to talk with y'all kid or what?
Yes.
I ain't planning to, but I don't know.
What age?
Honestly, whenever they start the health forums, like in middle school, high school, I'm not thinking that time because he's gonna be curious. Or that's if they even do the health forums.
Let me ask y'all this: when did y'all start thinking sexually, things like that as a kid?
I watched porn in middle school. I ain't gonna lie.
My first time I ever watched porn, 8th grade, New Year's Eve. Whole family.
Remember?
No, I remember because
we all do.
no, my whole family they went to my mama's friend house, and they was like, you want to go? And I was like, no, because in my mind, I already knew this was the night. I'm good. I'm staying home. So I didn't even know no porn sites. I wasn't even thinking about porn. I had to just legit look up porn. And I looked up, I remember the site, I went to Brazzers, dog. I remember everything about that night. It was glorious, man. I'm not going to front. But, so everybody's staying middle school. So.
Well, I just remember, my brother was home. I had just got off the bus. I think he was watching it while I was at home. So then the window was still up, and he had left the house or whatever for whatever reason. So I'm looking, and it's Roxy Reynolds, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
and
I'm like, girl,
but then by this point I already have puberty, so you know the hormones raging. I'm like, what is going on? That shit was wild.
When I started thinking about it, it was middle school. When girls started developing titties and stuff.
What?
I was a titty man.
Let me see. Hey, Chris, it's random. Hey, you remember that time we found that porn in my house, though?
He looking like,
Hey, because they tried to hide it. We had a big entertainment. Y'all know the old-fashioned entertainment stands, where you got the thing up on the TV. Yeah. So I don't know. I think we might have thrown a ball in the house or something. I don't know. The ball went to the top. So we had to go get a chair, and we got up there to get the ball, and it was I forgot the name. It was like ass fest, volume 4. It was some wild shit. So of course we turned that shit on. What the hell going on? So as soon as you hit play, double ass. That shit was crazy, man.
One of my other best friends, I used to spend out of his house every weekend, bro. And his dad had a collection, bro. His dad did what?
Every dad had a collection of shit, and it was acceptable to everybody.
That ain't never had it. How many of y'all watch a little porn on mute? And then you had the other channel in the back.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, that.
Parents walk in, you press.
That was go-to.
Hey, previous check on the show. What you doing, man? You gotta touch to the side.
Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, you gotta tuck it under the little waist band real quick.
What you want? Calm it down.
Now I walk in the country. Why your TV on mute and you watching this? Why you got it on mute?
Hey, you know what's up?
I'm trying to go to sleep.
They already know what's up.
Hey, you know what's up?
I just wanted to.
That's the ultimate sign when they get mad as hell for no reason. Get out, man. Oh, damn, man.
Now, one other thing that got introduced to was BET Uncut.
Boy,
watching Baby Boy.
Yeah,
oh
and you went on 3. Chili grill me though. No, I thought I was tripping.
All you see is
I was like, God.
Well, that's you. Cause it used to change from regular TV, and then they have a switch, and it would be sunlight if you want to age. Yeah, cut it off. Yeah. Shit, let's go. Oh man, I've been waiting for this all night. Alright, so we just had that for it. So if your child gets pregnant early, how would you handle it?
I can't get pregnant, but if you get somebody pregnant.
What's true,
I never thought that far.
I don't know how.
I be telling my son,
I'm
like, bro, please don't do what I did.
I think I would handle it differently than their mom though, because they stay with their mom, so it's kind of I'll be handling it, but they won't be in the house with me. So
yeah, that's more
I would definitely want to take preventive measures as far as being real explicit with what could happen if you do have a kid. Right. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I never had that talk. My parents never said, don't get pregnant because this and the third don't happen. But if he were to get a girl pregnant, I mean, I honestly really wouldn't have to say what the baby mama would do. But, you know, so whatever decision she made, I just gotta, you know, support it.
Life get a little easier when you got a son.
Like, yo, worst case scenario,
overall,
they stay in that cat house.
Hey,
Like,
don't bring no babies home to my sisters.
Yeah.
And like for me, it was just like, I mean, don't make a baby, but
like if you do,
they say they coming home with you. But it was, I really don't know how to react. It's a lot of things.
I couldn't imagine being on grandma duty at like a young age though.
No.
Well,
You don't get it something like that, baby.
I can't say
your
that
baby's
to
gonna
my
look. You put it in home in middle school, so you can bad and bring that baby home. And then you'll understand, you want my baby at this age. I was like, from my experience with me, you being so young, just don't. Want to be a ball player? You can't have no babies in that case, so we just gonna pray you don't have no babies.
They say the best of the best, let their career go.
alright, so let's run through these last few questions. Do you end every lecture with love when you talk to your kids?
Return.
Yeah.
Even when I'm mad, get them a goddamn nerve, I still love you, know.
Now, CJ, we gotta put you on the spot because I think you're the only one who has multiple kids here. So, be honest. Do you have a favorite kid?
No.
Okay. Now, everybody, this is open to everybody. Did your parents have a favorite kid?
Yeah.
Oh, I think they fool.
Me.
Cause I'm a mama.
I tell my parents to this day, I'm like, man, I know I'm your favorite kid. It's okay. And you try to prove me otherwise, you know. And I always been told this because I'm the only boy and I'm the youngest.
Yeah, you got it all.
So it was just like growing up, I seemed like I was favored over my sisters because what I wanted to do is what we did. Because I was the only boy and I was the youngest. Like whatever movie I wanted to watch that kept me quiet, that's what my mama put on. So I tell them to this day, like, I know I'm your favorite kid. It's okay. Well, we grown now. I'm still the favorite.
I'm the favorite and I'm the only. So.
Oh, man.
I think
But you favorite and the worst.
And the only grandchild today on my daddy's side. So.
I think whenever I was younger, both of my parents loved me the most, or I was their favorite because I was the youngest and the only girl. Because like they had me like 7 years later. I was unplanned, but the fact that I was their girl and they grew up with Dusty boys, you know, they loved me a lot. But I feel like as I got older, my middle brother became the favorite. But I think it was because he was just the emotional support. You know, like he really did keep the family together. Like I just remember being home sometimes being sad, miserable, everything. But as soon as he came back down, like just so much togetherness, so much chemistry between all of us. So I think he became the favorite after a while.
All right, Chris, who's the favorite at your house?
Well, I think I'm my mom's favorite. Cause I'm a mom's boy naturally. Like when I was little, I used to stay with my mom all the time. I ain't really too much want to be with my pops like that. But cause he always had my brother, he was always doing stuff with my older brother, so that's how it happened.
My sister is my mama's favorite, and I'm my daddy's favorite. So
I
we both got a pair. Yeah, we both got a pair. So it worked out, man. All right. So compared to other generations, single-parent households appear to be more common. I think everybody here is a single-parent household. So what is your opinion? It doesn't have to be related to you directly, but what is your opinion? If possible, what's the solution maybe to avoid and making that not so common?
I would say, shoot, have a child with somebody you're already in a relationship with,
That's
already
true.
married with. But I mean,
Y'all would date somebody.
but that can still go sour. You know what I'm saying?
It's unavoidable, man.
Yeah.
At this point,
It's just how
Do y'all think that
Even married
mindset,
people
that like I just
feel-
said, is unavoidable? Y'all think that mindset is what's causing? Because now, like back in the day, people would maybe fight a little bit harder to say their houses or their
I
families.
feel
but
like
now,
women
back in
are
the day-
liberated now. Women
That
are
might
more
be it, too.
liberated, and they ain't finna take no shit because you know, let's be real. Our grandmothers that were with our granddads for 50+ years probably took some bullshit that a woman now wouldn't want to.
I think it was easier.
back in the
You know,
day.
it's all that toss up of man should do this, woman should do that, gender
The
roles
gender
and
roles,
everything
yeah.
like that. Back in the day, like men paid all the bills, woman did everything around the house, and nowadays it's like, yeah, I want a nigga to pay all my bills, but I ain't doing all the shit my grandma did.
Yeah.
But I still want everything grandpa did to come with it, and like dudes ain't going for it, and women not going for the opposite. So it's just like overall, the only way to avoid it is people like really holding off on having kids because you don't know
Yeah.
who you're
That's
gonna
my
be
main
with,
point.
and you don't know who you're gonna marry. You don't know if your marriage gonna last. So I mean,
Like, I see people that pick on others for waiting like to have kids like 30 plus, but honestly that's great. Like travel, be with your partner for however many years and see like can you really live with this person forever plus, you know, have kids.
I just feel like everybody should just stick with people that really like them for them.
Yeah,
that
choose
really
the person you
genuine
align
like
with.
and
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's a lot of people that change when they have kids.
That's a fact.
So, like, I can be with you for 5 years without kids, but as soon as you have a kid, something drastically changes. I can't deal with that. So you never know until you have kids. Like,
Do you think
never
it'll
know
be a woman having the postpartum depression thing
That's
that
what
can
I
make them?
That's a piece of it, but it ain't just women. It's some guys that I know that it was like, oh, he was a great guy, but he's a horrible father. Like, I can't be with him as a dad, but he was a great partner, you know, things like that. So
those
postpartum
prioritization
is definitely real, and like I dealt with it, and you know what I hear about it most is, you know, women don't feel beautiful, they don't feel wanted. You can't give them no attention, no matter how much attention you give them, you're not giving them enough. And it's all types of stuff that you got to deal with, but after kids, bro, things change, bro. It's a whole nother shift.
I can honestly say, like, guys that I've talked to, you know, before I had a kid, then they spin the block, they even said I was different. And they said in good ways and bad. You know, I feel like I'm more demanding, I want things on my time. And,
Yeah, when you have kids, you got certain things that set in stone. Before kids, it's like, no, I'm a little flexible with this, but after kids, you like, nah, I want this, and this. Everything else flexible, but I gotta have this.
Especially if it interferes with my mental health, because you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta be, you know, a mom to a toddler, so I gotta make sure I'm like okay in the head, you know what I'm saying? So,
But you do got some delusional guys that just want to bust in the girl just because you got to leave. So
That's true too. So you guys, that's already started off on the wrong
for
foot.
real, like I don't met plenty of girls that told me that she was like I was trying to get away from them. I was like, hey.
So, all right, we down to 3 questions. Rate yourself as a parent, 1 through 10.
I would say a strong 8.5. Only thing I would work on is patience. I'm not patient.
I'm giving myself an 8. And it's because, like, as a mother, you feel like sometimes you feeling, but you really not feeling because you can have what you want for your child, but
And your kid thinks that you're like
your
the
child
greatest thing ever.
can be just fine, but you want more for you and your child because you're the mother and you feel like you ain't got this, so you like, damn, I'm feeling. I get overwhelmed. It's just crazy. It just depends on what the day is. Because today I'm 10. We done,
Talk your talk, queen. That's
today
right.
I'm 10. We done had a good little time. I haven't had no bad moments today. Sometimes I moments I'm just like, damn, I'm gonna wait to have you. I could have been here now. Or I could have been there now. But because of you, I got to this point. Because if I didn't have a child, I would have gotten no damn second degree. I would have gotten an degree if I had a child. I would have hopped up and just left Georgia, do what I want to do.
Kids will make you definitely go hard. I can honestly tell once my mom died, like I know if I want to kill myself, but I was like, why am I still existing? You know, like you grow up, you see your parents make the sacrifices, and then you want to grow up and make them proud. So once that parent is gone, it's like, what's my like motivation? You know. So I feel like my kid definitely motivated me.
Yeah, because I feel like
9.9, because ain't nobody perfect.
I knew you.
Right.
I knew when I said the question, he smiled at me. I knew it.
I mean, ain't no perfect way to be everybody. I try to do as much as I can for my kids, though.
No, I think you credit like somebody like I don't see. He always do have his kids.
Like,
He always there. So yeah.
I deal with a lot, and I go a lot back and forth when it comes to my kids, but I try to do everything I can, though. So, I mean, I haven't been, like, I don't get told much, like, you're a great dad, all that type of stuff, but I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm sacrificing, no matter who sees it and who doesn't. You know, I do great things. Everything that's at my house, I did that.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that for my kids, you know what I'm saying? And nobody can say, you know, I help you do this and help you do that. It's like, no, I did this. The things that I have, I did.
If nobody told y'all, all y'all are great parents, man. Just in case, like I said, you don't hear it a lot. Don't
And I
mean
follow you
it's
on
like-
Snap. You are a great parent. I see you with your kids a lot.
Yeah.
But
And I know the
I really, like, I don't think a lot of people know it, but men don't hear that often.
Nah, we don't.
That's not something that
you only do what you don't do.
A woman can get on Facebook and they can just post a picture of their kids. Oh,
you're a great
mom, blah, blah, blah. And, behind the scenes.
The only time guys really get compliments on being a good dad is from a female trying to shoot her shot.
Yeah.
That's the only time. They never just say, oh, you're a good dad. Oh, you're a good daddy. Oh.
Yeah, they see you in that daddy mode that y'all was talking about earlier. And they're like, oh, you're such a good dad.
You want another one? Like,
I can't wait to be a part of your kids' lives.
What? Hold on. You and the mama are doing a good job. By the way, where she at? Like, she's like that.
You and your baby mama still together? You're such a great dad. I don't know why she let you go.
They always
Why
say,
y'all being so loud?
I don't have problems, so I always have problems.
Now, the last question about parenthood. Do you hold your friends accountable who do not take care of their kids as well as they should? Male or female?
I only have one close friend that has a kid and she's doing a great job. Her name is Cheyenne Boyers, by the way. Gotta shout her out.
I mean, all of my close friends, man, they take care of their kids, man. Like, hands down, like, I ain't got no friends that's just out here having babies and not taking care of their kids.
All my friends.
I know some people that I was friends with and we're not as close as we used to be, and I was like, bro, they have a kid. I just know they're gonna be a deadbeat, like,
I mean, honest sometimes. You gotta be
truthfully, like,
you don't need no kids.
Yeah, when people don't have kids, I'm like, bro, thank God, because you,
And the friends that don't have kids, I'm like, don't have nothing.
yeah.
But
the friends that I have, they take care of it.
And my friends are great with my kids.
Yeah, I don't believe in like being friends with like.
Yeah, like if you don't take care of your kid, we can't be friends.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel.
That's speaking on like a lot of morals with me, like how you carry yourself.
Yeah, I'm big on it. If you ain't gonna be there for your kids, you ain't got. I'm big on loyalty. If you ain't loyal to your kids, you ain't loyal to nobody.
Yeah. So how you supposed to have my back? We get it.
Boy, he need diaper. You been waiting for it. You let him sit in and piss. You ain't got enough for me. Now, so all right, we end every episode with love. So I need y'all to tell 3 people who may not know it, so you can't use your parents, you can't use your kids, that you love them, and why. 3 people you may have never told that out loud. Let them know you love them and why. Anybody except the obvious people who already know it.
Well, me, it's a group for. It's like my dad's side of the family. Like they're from Minnesota and stuff, like up there. Like I ain't took a trip up there not once, and I always just want to tell them, like, you know what I'm saying, I love y'all. It's just, you know what I'm saying, it just don't be matching up with some time, and then it's a whole lot of other factors. But I love y'all though, you know what I'm saying.
For me, I ain't gonna call out nobody specifically, but my homeboys, like the dudes that I'm coolest with. As guys, you don't naturally tell another guy like, hey bro, I love you, you know what I'm saying? So any of my homeboys that's out there, you know, I got love for you, I love you, man. Especially the ones that I'm real close to that I talk to on a daily basis. Even the ones that I'm close to that I don't talk to on a daily basis. You know, just really let them know, like, I love you, I appreciate you. You always been there, great guy. But it's nobody specific that ain't gonna call out, you know what I'm saying?
I have a friend named Kim. She was really there for me whenever I first had my son. I remember calling her having like nervous breakdowns, and she would call me. Well, like no, she would come over. She would cook dinner. She would fold my clothes. She has even helped me take out my hair sometimes. I know I don't talk to her as much as I used to because my life has gotten really busy, but I definitely love her. Her name is Kimberly Fonseca. So yes, I love you, girls.
Okay.
I tell you about all this all the time. We talk all the time. But my best friend Haven was Haven Harvey. We haven't talked like that recently, but I know why. Not even so that I love you, of course. And basically all my homeboys that have not tried me on a sexual type of stuff, I love y'all, of course, because when I come to y'all about anything, y'all always there 10 toes down that way.
It's so good to have like male friends, like platonic, you know. They be honest.
Please. I'm like, oh.
I like that. I like how y'all ended it. So, this wraps up the episode. Everybody did excellent. You all are superstars. This is the open floor. If anybody got anything they want to say, that need to say, any last closing remarks? Anybody got anything?
Stop touching shit. Wash your hands.
For real though.
Wash your hands. Wear a mask.
Wear your mask.
COVID real out there. It's going
Very
up
real.
again.
And keep y'all sick kids at home.
And drink your water.
Keep it at home.
Drink your water and exfoliates. Please.
Major.
God. Do
Wash
that.
your ass.
No,
Brush your teeth.
Wash your teeth, literally.
Since we're going on all these different hygiene stuff, where do you order it? You know.
I like y'all said stay at home, and all y'all came over here to do a podcast.
Oh.
I ain't saying nothing about staying at home.
Oh.
Keep the sick kids at home.
Oh yeah, keep sick kids at home.
Yeah.
Sick
Definitely.
kids at home.
Don't send them to the school, man.
Shit, child.
That's high school too. If your high school students sick, keep them at home. Especially if they go
They probably gonna
outside.
stay home anyways.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they still don't work out?
No, bro.
Everybody.
He said no. He no.
Virtual is very low now. You gotta have certain. You gotta go through a list of things to be virtual. You gotta have real medical issues to be virtual. Everybody else, yeah. Welcome back.
Welcome home.
Welcome back. Mask ain't even mandatory no more. Everything's optional. So yeah. Like if they sick, keep them at home, bro. I don't want that. I got
All right.
kids. I ain't trying to take it home to them.
Well, if none of these great people have anything else to say, I am Lawrence Ray, and this was the Talk to Me Nice podcast.
D-Mark got that
We
lead.
are out.
Yes, sir.